Good morning, you all. It's tea time after the coffee time with Madison and Christine. I just want to talk about the topic that's cosmic bombing through me today is about connecting to the animal within us. What does that mean? Connecting to the animal to me means connecting to the instinct, our instinct. And when I work with clients, I often get straight to the core. What is your gut feel? Because this mind has many different facets, right? We've got the ego structure that's constantly having its own ideas and all these mental constructs, all these belief systems. And if we get spin up here, we don't pay attention to this. We often will start wondering why our lives and relationships and money situations and all that are going awry and upheaval. And so I speak again directly to always what has worked for me, what has freed me, what has brought more love to my heart and to those in my life in this world, and what has again freed me. And I share these things I'm putting my coffee cup down very silently. I'm learning. What has created more vitality, what has created more happiness. You know, that word happiness used to trigger me so much when I was going through deep pain. And so I want to be sensitive because that word can be really like fingers on a chalkboard, like fingernails on a chalkboard, depending on where you're at, right? Now I get it. But I only get it not because I did some in 30 days you'll have your happiness bullshit. No. Mine was like 25, 30 years, but when you hear that, you have your own path and the frequency is in a different place now. So again, I'm very feminine, so I'll go into these circles, but I want to try to bring it back to a clear message here around animal and instinct. I was reflecting yesterday back on my life and looking at, oh my God, I had a different perspective shift because I had in my belief system that back in the day I shared with some of you guys, whoever's watched the YouTube, what are you chasing? I shared my story with running, and that was a definite trauma response. The way I was running, the way I was getting addicted, the way I wasn't eating enough. And I had this story repeating in my head for years that was just all bad, right? And yesterday I had a deeper contact with that going, oh my God, I think running saved my life. It was a place where all the unconscious rage could hit the concrete, the dirt. And I became very grateful to that instinct in me that got me through a survival at a time that kept my breath, kept things going, kept circulation going. And so I have a lot to thank running for. And of course, it was my relationship to running that I had to change. So running for me has been an instinct, a place where I contact the animal. To me, it's sexy to run. It's sexy to sweat. So again, when I do these YouTubes, it's more and more stuff comes out for conversation, right? Like the last one was on creativity and sexuality, and I want to expand on that. That sexuality doesn't mean the genitals. It doesn't just mean all of that. It means our own relationship to ourselves, our own implicit experience. And so what is it in you that when you think of animal and you think of instinct, what does that mean to you? Like I've shared with you guys that running is a place, sweating is a place. Breathing now, I've gotten really in touch with breathing in cold showers, another contact with the animal within. And we see often, you guys, in the spiritual world, the religious world, there is such a split from spirit and body and animal. And you wonder why porn is the biggest industry, right? I get it. You know, I get it. Like when we have that split, it's like the human is looking for contact with some kind of animal. And when we're not in charge of that, it can go really, really dark and no judgment whatsoever. right? But I like to be a guide in the wild in this way because I've in my life chosen to experience dip myself in a lot of different, from the dark to the color to the light, in order to emerge and to share and to be a guide in this world. That's just a passion of mine. Some people would call it a shamanic pathway in that sort of way. So I'm not in a place now where I demonize any of it. It all has a place. So this animal instinct, you guys, is to me crucial to connect to, because if we're just out there spiritually just writing and meditating all the time, but we're not contacting that sweat, that blood, those guts in our body, there's most often things that happen. You're like, oh, I can't believe Frank, who was like, you know, some head of some business, some writing thing, whatever, ended up, getting accused of pedophilia or something. These things happen, you guys, when we don't connect, because the unconscious is constantly playing out, giving us an opportunity to take the wheel, so to speak, connect to that. Again, I'm not here to judge any of it. I think that we all are where we are, like I've said in other YouTubes as well. But what is important, what I feel passionate about, is let's get conscious about it, because it gets dangerous when we don't. We can see it playing out in our world, you guys. Why do you think that in midlife there's such a phenomenon, a midlife crisis, where the man ends up having some affair or going for a younger woman? That's another example of the unconscious playing out, or getting the motorcycle and these things to try to rev up. Like, we don't have to go to those measures, not against the motorcycle, not against any of that. Not saying if you did that in middle age, that's your issue. Just let's get behind the meaning of what's going on, right? And that will never fulfill until we really go deeper and deeper and connect to the animal within. I can tell you that recently, I know I did a post with Wim Hof, and I strongly suggest checking him out. To me, he represents really connecting to that animal spirit and being a light, being a bright light, true love on this planet, helping people, reminding us it's simple, you guys. We don't have to do all these, oh my God, all these spiritual riddles and all of this stuff and stay wound up in here. And we have this body as a gift. We have instinct as a gift. We have sex as a gift, whatever that means to you, right? We have all of that as a gift. But when we don't ground it and anchor it on this earth, you're going to continue to have problems, have relationship issues, have whatever it is. It's just, if we don't connect to that simple truth in us, those things are going to be spinning. Addictions are going to be spinning. You can get addicted to the internet, get addicted to Facebook, get addicted to spirituality, get addicted to any of it, right? So my encouragement is to simplify. Like I said, back with my clients, I have really, really, really intelligent clients. And one of the biggest things that I get positive feedback is them learning how to go to the gut, to watch what you're feeling. Let's say you're going on dates. Watch what you're feeling, not what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Because we can often get caught up in a loop and start accepting all these red flags. What am I feeling in my gut? What are you feeling? That's part of contacting animal. And I had a dear friend hop on my Facebook and mention somatic work. Thank you, my dear. That's what getting in touch with the body is. Where am I feeling this? Is it my gut? Is it my throat? Is it my head? Is it my feet? Paying attention. What is that saying to you? We simplify. If we get caught up in the mind, that's where a lot of issues will start manifesting. We got to connect to the body, you guys, because our bodies eventually will get sick to wake us up. And again, there's no judgment there either. I've had a lot of body stuff to help me get more conscious. Now, when anything happens, if it's a sore throat or whatever, I will contact it immediately and start talking to it. because it's a live consciousness. And those things go away so fast for me these days because I've had built a trust in my body with that energy. And I always ask spirit too. There's a complete harmony there. And I love, again, I'm really in the wake of talking about Wim Hof because he speaks of, we can become our own doctor. We become that and we get our power back, right? Mostly out in the Western med field, you'll see that they just treat you like you're a stereotype of everyone else, and our chemistries, our bodies are all different. If I go to the doctor and they give me antibiotics, I literally have to ask for what they give kids because my body will go freaking crazy. It's so all our systems are different. So really pay attention to your body, what your body's telling you. There's always a message no matter what, whether we hurt ourselves, whether some ailment comes up. These are gifts of consciousness and we can heal any of it. How can I say that confidently? I've had, like I've said before, I dealt with terror, I would say for years, and contacted the ancestry, the anxiety, where that was coming from. And what helped me the most was not any therapist that told me what to do, but it was, this is exactly where you are. You're lifting in consciousness, and all this stuff is being healed in your ancestry through you. That's how powerful we are, you guys. And it can be really scary. Oh my God. I don't sit here and talk about happy because that fell from the sky. No, that's a whole new thing I've been acclimating to. We do not have to stay in suffering. Do not. But we do need to walk through it. And that brings us to our animal, brings us to our spirit, brings us to our creativity. And also all of that can save us in the process. So what is the animal in you? What is that animal needing? Okay. If it's coming out in addiction, most likely you're craving something that is bleeding inside to be connected to. It makes sense, you guys. It makes sense that there's so much chaos and violence in this world. That is the split off animal. So let's get in there and let's start contacting it. It's so sexy to do it. And again, this can be a so implicit experience. You can share it with others, but it truly starts with the self. That's why nature is so beautiful to me, because you just sit there in nature and it's right there in front of you. It can be violent, it can be gentle, it's everything, right? Birth, death, all of it. So I hope that offers some clarity and some stuff to chew on. And thank you so much. I thank you for listening, and may you please contact that incredible animal in you, which will contact you to spirit, which will heal you so much faster than spinning up here. Cheers, you guys. Meet you on the flip.